LeBron calls her must-see TV. Steph, he sees himself in her game. KD says she's built for the biggest moments. And Dame Lillard, oh man, he swears she's got the killer instinct of the game's coldest closer. When this many NBA stars are lining up to praise one player, you gotta ask, what are they seeing that the rest of us aren't?
Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point.
Why is LeBron James calling Caitlin Clark the most exciting thing in basketball right now? Stick around, because by the end of the video, you'll see why the NBA's biggest names are saying things about Caitlin Clark they've never said about anyone else. This isn't just hype. This is the story of how current NBA legends are rallying behind Caitlin Clark and why they believe she could transform basketball for an entire generation of boys and girls hoopers. When LeBron James talks, the basketball world shuts up and listens. So when Caitlin Clark torched another team for 40, he didn't just toss out a polite clap emoji. He went all in. The CC effect. Not she's good, not fun to watch. A full-on brand name, as if Clark's influence is now its own basketball phenomenon.
Your blinders on, go to work, show up to work, punch your clock in, prepare yourself, work on your game, work on your craft, kind of keep your mouth shut, and just learn from the vets. When they ask, you voice your opinion if they want your opinion, man, early on.
When she came back, they spiked right back up. That's the kind of gravitational pull reserved for generational stars, the Kobes, the MJs, and yeah, the LeBrons. And remember, LeBron rarely gushes over players outside the NBA. But here, he's not just giving her flowers, he's planting the seeds for a legacy. LeBron sees her as more than a player. He sees her as a cultural force, the kind of athlete whose name trends in places where basketball isn't even the main conversation. And if that's what LeBron's seeing, Steph Curry, he's seeing something even more personal. Steph Curry has seen hundreds of players try to copy his range, but only one makes him stop mid-scroll and think, yeah, that's me. That player, the queen, Caitlin Clark. After watching one of her games, Steph texted his friend saying, yo, she's pulling up from the logo like it's nothing. It wasn't just the distance that impressed him, it was the timing.
On a deep three.
Those momentum-killing, crowd-silencing shots that flip a game on its head.
Hit from three.
That's the Curry trademark. And now, Clark's making it her own. Steph wants to get in the gym with her, joking about trading shooting secrets.
I'm sick of watching Caitlin getting attacked. If the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
That's not charity, that's respect. And while Steph is mesmerized by the how of her game, KD is locked in on the why.
Yeah, she's displaying some skill right now that's and she moving fast. Like it look like everybody on that court is way slower than her when she get into her stuff.
Kevin Durant knows what it's like to have every spotlight, camera, and critic pointed straight at you and still have to deliver. So when he calls Caitlin Clark cold-blooded in crunch time, that's not just KD being nice. That's the ultimate stamp from a guy who's hit finals daggers with the world watching. He's seen her in those high-pressure moments, tied game, clock winding down, crowd ready to explode. And instead of playing it safe, she pulls from deep and buries it. For Durant, that's the separation point. Lots of players have skill, but this? Oh man. This is about walking into fire, knowing you might miss, and shooting anyway. In interviews, KD said she's not afraid to fail.
Proud of this team's fight because, a lot of teams would probably hang their head and give up with a, halftime deficit like that, but that wasn't what we're going to do.
KD doesn't just see her as a rising star. He sees her already wearing the armor you need to survive at the very top and still hit the kill shot. KD sees the armor, but armor alone doesn't win you battles. You still have to take the shot. And that's where Dame Lillard steps in, because he sees Caitlin do something most players avoid their entire careers. Demand the ball when the world is ready to watch her miss. Damian Lillard has a rule. Your real reputation is built in the final minute. Everything before that, just warm up. And in those moments, Caitlin Clark doesn't just want the ball, she hunts it. Dame's watched her in the same situations that made his own career. Caitlin, she calls for it. She waves off teammates, she makes it clear it's her shot or nothing. And then she delivers. Deep, unshakable, crowd silenced, game over. For Lillard, nicknamed Logo Lillard for drilling absurd threes in the clutch, this isn't casual praise. This is him recognizing a fellow member of the most exclusive club in basketball. The one where hesitation gets you kicked out. But here's what makes his respect even more real. Dame knows the difference between confidence and arrogance. He's seen how Caitlin's work off the court, the film study, the opponent scouting, the endless reps is the real reason she can step into chaos and act like it's her driveway. And that's why he doesn't just compare her to other WNBA players. He compares her to the coldest killers the game has ever seen. Which brings us to the bigger truth here. If LeBron, Steph, KD, and Dame are all betting on her, this isn't just a story about Caitlin Clark. This is a story about the future of basketball. When four of the most respected NBA superstars all line up to praise the same player, that's not coincidence. That's a shift in the sport's center of gravity. Caitlin Clark isn't just getting respect. She's crossing the invisible lines that have kept men's and women's basketball in separate conversations for decades. She's become the rare player who makes NBA veterans stop mid-interview. Kids across the country wear her jersey to school, and casual sports fans, they schedule their night around her games. Her deep threes feel like a Steph Curry remix. Her killer instinct mirrors Lillard's. Her poise and mental armor are straight out of KD's playbook. And her cultural pull? That's the LeBron effect, making the game bigger than the box score. It's not just about skill, it's about pulling every corner of the basketball world into the same room. You've got NBA legends tweeting in real time about a WNBA game. You've got broadcasters comparing her runs to the sport's most iconic moments. And you've got little kids, boys and girls, practicing Caitlin range in driveways everywhere. This isn't a side story anymore. Caitlin Clark, the queen, is actively forcing the sport to evolve in real time. And when the most respected players in the world are protecting your legacy before it's even fully written, oh man, you know you're not just playing in an era, you're shaping it. In just a few short years, Caitlin Clark has gone from a promising young scorer to the unifying spark of the entire basketball world.
Her range, her three-point shooting overall, her flair for testing her range every night and knowing that the other team's going to try to take it away. And she's fearless. No shot is a bad shot, and when you can shoot it as well as she can.
KD says she's built for the spotlight, and Dame swears she's got the killer instinct only the greatest closers have. That's not hype. That's a consensus from the very people who define greatness. And it's happening while she's still writing the first chapters of her pro career. Every game she plays isn't just a battle for the scoreboard. It's a chance to raise the ceiling for what's possible in women's basketball. The real question isn't whether Caitlin will be remembered, it's how far her reach will go. Will she just change the WNBA? Or will she redefine how the entire sport is played, marketed, and celebrated? Drop your take in the comments. What's the one thing Caitlin Clark could do that would change basketball forever? And if you want more deep dives into the players shaping the game's future and the legends who built the path, hit subscribe and turn on those notifications so you're in the front row for every story. Because trust me, if you think this chapter was wild, wait until you see what's coming next. We'll see you next time.